What's up guys, Rogue9 here, and today I want to talk to you about a significant shift in ADS times across all of the weapons in Rainbow Six Siege that went live with Operation Ember Rise. Aiming down sights is now between 33% and even up to 50% faster for all of the weapons, and that is no joke. Being able to aim in that much faster than before means a huge shift away from having to pre-aim every push and every angle, and instead will allow for a much more fluid play where you can get away with only aiming in once you spot a target. So let me show you how all of the ADS times have changed, and then let's discuss what this means for Rainbow Six Siege. But first, a big shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video. Released earlier this year, this immensely popular free-to-play mobile RPG was downloaded and played by more than 10 million players around the world within the first 6 months of launch. It features a fully voiced story campaign, dungeons to explore, a clan system, PvP arena, and the brand new Faction Wars mode. There are over 400 champions to collect, and you can customize and specialize each one with equipable artifacts and unique mastery builds. Manipulating the character stats and abilities and maximizing the effectiveness of my champions has to be the most satisfying thing in the game for me. Over 360,000 players have rated the game on Google Play so far, with an average rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars. There is a brand new rewards program for new players that will give you a daily login reward for the first 90 days. Go to the video description, click on these special links, and you will get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Now, about this ADS time shift. Hidden away towards the bottom of the Operation Ember Rise announcement and patch notes are a couple of paragraphs under the heading Game Health and First Person Animation Tree Refactor, and this is the change that has affected the aim down sight time for all weapons in the game. The patch notes tell us, in an effort to ensure the scalability for the future of Rainbow Six Siege, we have refactored the first person animation tree. This means that we are reorganizing and simplifying the structure under the hood of how our first-person animations are integrated in our game engine. These changes have no impact on gameplay and only affect animations that your operator does on your own screen locally. That said, this is the final step in correcting weapon sights, and they are now code-driven under the new structure. So for the first time ever, the weapon sights are now code-driven instead of being tied to the animation as they used to be in the past. And as you can see in the comparison footage in the background now, a side effect of this change is that the ADS times have become much faster than they used to be. Let's go over some of the general standard ADS times first, before looking at some of the exceptions. Most assault rifles and DMRs used to take 450 milliseconds or 0.45 seconds if you prefer to aim in, but now only take 300 milliseconds, 1/3 faster. The standard shotgun and SMG ADS times used to be 300 milliseconds, but now it's 200 milliseconds, again 1/3 faster. And pistols used to be 200 milliseconds, but they are now 100 milliseconds or 0.1 seconds, so 50% faster than before. The rules around the angled grip are the same as before. It will give you a 40% reduction in ADS time to any weapon you attach it to, so that means 180 milliseconds for rifles and 120 milliseconds for SMGs. Exceptions to these rules are both of Blackbeard's rifles, which used to take 700 milliseconds to aim in, but now take 450. Glaz's OTS-03 is down from 550 milliseconds to 350 milliseconds. Mozzie's Commando used to be modeled as a rifle at 450 milliseconds and still is, but now with the appropriate 300 milliseconds. The FMG-9 is slightly slower than all of the other SMGs at 220 milliseconds instead of 200, and the LFP-586 revolver is also slightly slower than expected, from 250 milliseconds in the past down to 130 milliseconds now. The machine guns can be split up into two groups. Capitao, IQ/Amaru, and Maestro's weapons used to take 600 milliseconds to ADS and now will take 400 milliseconds. Gridlock, Fuse/Finker, Ying, and Zophia's LMGs used to be 550 milliseconds and are now down to 350 milliseconds, so a saving of 200 milliseconds across the board for the entire LMG class, which works out to around 1/3 for all of them. And finally, last but not least, in the past I had measured the ADS time for the machine pistols at 300 milliseconds, the same as the regular SMGs and shotguns. This time has now been updated to 180 milliseconds, which is a little faster than the primary SMGs that are of course now 200 milliseconds. It's quite possible that my past measurements were not 100% accurate, since my recording software works at 60 FPS, and when testing and measuring times in the millisecond range, this just doesn't quite provide the necessary resolution to be able to measure minor differences. But whatever the exact time in the past was, I can say with certainty that it is now 180 milliseconds. I cheated again and asked the devs for confirmation. So, for the most part, ADS times are now down by a third, although for some guns it can even be up to half. This is a significant shift from where the game used to be. Think about it, even large, heavy weapons like the LMGs now have ADS times that are faster than the assault rifles used to be. Even Blackbeard, with his appallingly slow gun handling, is now fast enough to match the standard rifle ADS time of the past. In Rainbow Six Siege, pre-aiming used to be a vital part of being able to win gunfights. Obviously, pre-aiming when holding angles was helpful, and that of course makes complete sense, but it also used to be really important to pre-aim even when pushing forward, which I personally found a little counterintuitive when I started playing Siege at first. Aiming in, especially with an ACOG, results in somewhat of a loss of peripheral vision, so my natural instinct was always to aim in only once I'd found an opponent. But that's a habit that most players learn to drop quite quickly when playing Siege. The 300 or 400 milliseconds of the past it could take you to get your sights up were enough to make all the difference in most gunfights, especially with the horrifically bad hipfire spread we get in Rainbow Six Siege. Less than half a second may not sound like an awful lot, but if your opponent was already aiming down sights and you weren't, that made winning the gunfight extremely challenging in the past. But that is the past. Rifles now aim in as fast as SMGs used to, SMGs as fast as pistols used to, and pistols twice as fast as before. Does that mean that there is no longer any value in pre-aiming? Well, no, I wouldn't say so. 200 to 300 milliseconds is still more than the time to down or kill for most weapons, so an aimed-in opponent can still take you out before you even manage to fully aim in. The fast overall time to kill and one-hit kill headshots mean that Rainbow Six will always be a game of milliseconds, and even the significantly faster ADS times won't change that. But nevertheless, this shift in aiming speed does mean that the game is now more forgiving than it used to be if you play in a slightly more reactive way. I have updated my online gun stat spreadsheet, but of course there is now a huge video library on my channel that will talk about ADS times that are completely outdated. The good news is though that pretty much all weapons have been affected in exactly the same way, so all of my past conclusions when comparing guns will thankfully remain valid. I hope that this little discovery is useful to you when playing. Feel free to leave a like if you appreciate the efforts I put into uncovering this kind of stuff. And with that, over to you. Have you noticed a change in the ADS time while playing since Operation Ember Rise went live? Has it affected your gameplay experience at all? Let me know in the poll in the top right-hand corner of your screen now, or comment below to share more details. Many thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next episode.